Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for JM Sports 100, the JM Sports Show. How is it going? I'm here to make college football picks for Saturday, November 15th, 2014, Week 12 in the 2014 college football season. Should be another great week of football. I have a couple of big upsets, including a huge one coming, but I'll talk about that in a minute when we get to it. First of all, I want to tell you that we are coming off of an okay week last week in Week 11, we went 32 and 15. We were 26 and 14 on Saturday, November 7th, and we are 3 and 3 on the week uh, so far. We did not pick it all on Tuesday, so those two games are not in there because we did not pick that. We did pick Ball State to beat Massachusetts. They did not. They lost 24 to 10. We picked Bowling Green to beat Kent State. They did that 30 to 20. We picked Cincinnati to beat East Carolina. They did not do that. They lost 54-40. I'm sorry. We picked East Carolina to beat Cincinnati rather, and they did not do that. Cincinnati winning that game 54-46. It was a pretty good game. We picked Southern Miss to beat UTSA. UTSA got past them 12 to 10 on a last second field goal, and we picked USC to beat Cal, and USC was up big in a lot of that game. Cal did come back, and USC escapes with a 38 to 30 win. On Friday, we picked UCF to beat Tulsa. They did that pretty easily, 31 to 7. So with all that I just told you, we have a record now of 488 and 157 on the year, 2,786 wins, 917 losses is the lifetime record. And let's get to the picks now for Week 12, starting with number 8 Ohio State and number 25 Minnesota. I am going to go with the Buckeyes here. I'm really high on the Buckeyes. It took me quite a while to get high on them. JT Barrett is I don't want to say great, but a really good quarterback for OSU. Number 19, Clemson, and number 22, Georgia Tech. I am going to go with Clemson. Virginia Tech takes on number 21, Duke. I am going to go with Duke. Temple takes on Penn State, and I'm going to go with Penn State. Army takes on Western Kentucky, and I'm going to go with Western Kentucky. Iowa takes on Illinois, and I'm going to go with Iowa. South Carolina and Florida. I don't trust either one of these teams here. I trust Florida a little less. I'm going to go with the Gamecocks to get the win. Pittsburgh and North Carolina. I am going to go with North Carolina. Miami of Ohio and Central Michigan. Give me Central Michigan. Nevada takes on Air Force. I'm going to go with Air Force. Eastern Michigan takes on Western Michigan. I am going to go with Western Michigan. Rice takes on Marshall. I am going to go with Marshall. Number 4, TCU and Kansas. Give me TCU, by the way. Shout out to Marshall. Only undefeated team left in the country. Anyway, number 4, TCU and Kansas can be TCU. Wake Forest or North Carolina State. Give me North Carolina State. Appalachian State and Arkansas State. Give me Arkansas State. Number 1, Mississippi State. And number 5, Alabama. Upset number 1 right here. I think Mississippi State suffers their first loss. I've got number 1 going down. I think Mississippi State is going to hang in there, and I think it's going to be a game for a little while, but I think after a while, this veteran Alabama team in this big game experience is going to take over for the Tide. I do think that the Tide will get the win, and I think after a while they will pull away somewhat comfortably. Washington takes on number 14 Arizona, and I'm going to go with Arizona. Number 16 Nebraska and number 20 Wisconsin. To be completely honest here, and you can call me a homer, I'm sure you're going to anyway, I do think Wisconsin has the better team. I am calling for the upset here. I'm going with Wisconsin to beat Nebraska. Big game though in Madison. Northwestern takes on 18th ranked Notre Dame. I am going to go with Notre Dame to bounce back after they got thrashed by Arizona State last weekend. Georgia Southern takes on Navy, and I'm going to go with Georgia Southern in that game there. Um, you know what? No, I'm going to go Navy. I wrote Navy. I had Navy written down, and I decided I was going to change it, and now I just decided not to because I do that sometimes. Memphis takes on Tulane. I'm going to go with Memphis, Middle Tennessee, and Florida International. Give me Middle Tennessee. Oklahoma and Texas Tech. Oklahoma looking to bounce back, fill out of their ranks after being destroyed by Baylor last weekend. I am going to go with the Sooners to bounce back against Texas Tech. Indiana and Rutgers. I am going to go with Rutgers. New Mexico and Utah State. Give me Utah State. Kentucky takes on Tennessee. I am going to go with the Volunteers. Hawaii takes on San Jose State. Give me Hawaii. Troy and Idaho. Give me Troy. Number 23, Utah and Stanford. Utah has played some really, really tough physical games over the last couple of weeks, and now they got to travel on the road at Stanford. Stanford's not a great team, but a good team. I have Stanford pulling off the upset. I think it's a close game, but I've got Stanford beating Utah. Louisiana Lafayette takes on Louisiana Monroe, and I am going to move on to the next game quickly while I look and see who I picked for that one. UNLV takes on BYU, and I am going to go in that game with BYU. Louisiana Lafayette, by the way, so I picked the Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Monroe game. I apologize. Number 9, Auburn, and number 15, Georgia. Auburn looking to bounce back after the shocking loss from Texas A&M. I'm a little bit shaky on their defense right now, and whether or not they can stop Georgia's running attack, but I am going to go with the Tigers to bounce back and beat the Bulldogs. Missouri takes on number 24 Texas A&M. I am going to go with A&M here. I don't love this A&M team. I've said that several times this year. I still don't. They're in the ranks because they had a hard physical game with Alabama or with Auburn last week. They're a pretty tough. They're a pretty young football team, and so I don't know if they're going to perhaps come out a little bit flat against Missouri. So I'm a little nervous to do it, but I am going to go with Texas A&M. Texas State takes on South Alabama. I am going to go with Texas State. Texas takes on Oklahoma State. I am going to go with Texas. Number 3, Florida takes on the Miami Hurricanes. Florida State rather. I have a hard time believing that Florida State is going to run the table. I do think they will beat Miami here, though. Number 12, Michigan State takes on Maryland. Give me Michigan State. Michigan State, of course, coming off of that loss against Ohio State last weekend. That more than likely had major a major impact as to whether or not Michigan State can make a playoff push. Number 17, LSU takes on Arkansas. I am going to go with LSU. South Florida takes on SMU. I am going to go with South Florida. By the way, look out for the upset in that LSU Arkansas game, but I'm not going to call it. North Texas and UTEP. Give me UTEP. San Diego State and Boise State. Give me San Diego State. And number 6, Arizona State takes on Oregon State. I am going to go with Arizona State. I know that video is all over the board, and I jumped back to some games, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to make sure I got some of my points in. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like the JM Sports Show page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Links will be in the description. Just want to say this really, really quickly for you guys. For those of you who are interested in any of my basketball stuff, I made a college basketball picks video for tonight, but that'll be it for the NBA and college basketball until hopefully next week sometime. Go watch the pick video if you want to find out more about that. And NFL picks will be coming up in just a little bit. I am Jonathan Brissett for JM Sports 100 and the JM Sports Show, and I will see you guys later.